Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Live at the Emporium special edition. And my name is Ferdinand Soriano, and I am the co founder of Emporium. And Emporium is a Philippine made and inspired product showroom and global business center. And today, our job is to continuously create and provide content that's going to be helpful in creating Philippine made opportunities or sales opportunities for Philippine-made products, services, and investments in the U.S. market. So today you are joining us live here, and I want to go ahead and, without further ado, introduce to you the host of this segment of special edition of Live at the Emporium. And this is one of those series that we're doing, and I want to go ahead and introduce her. But before we do that, let me go ahead and properly set the mood for, or rather the tone for, this special edition called Investing in the U.S. Real Estate and Getting Permanent Resident Status in the U.S.
It's a beautiful day, no worries today. Cool breeze outside my window. This is the life. You're set for life. Just loving life. Retiring style with SB.
Hello, hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, right now I am in Los Angeles. I'm back here. Last month I was in Manila and we were talking about a different topic, but this time we're going to be talking about investing in US real estate and getting a permanent resident status in the US. So, for the last 10 years or 23 years, actually, since 2010, I have been promoting retiring style and actually encouraging people to have a second option of retiring in the Philippines, being that it is English-speaking country, and also we are very, very warm country and very affordable, So there's actually a lot of Filipinos right now that are moving back and forth to the Philippines, and I call them balik-balikan because they go there for 3 months or 6 months and they enjoy themselves. They buy another house, they put up a business there, they have additional stream of income, and then they come back here and enjoy their family, visit their apos, doing all the other things that they would love to do here in the United States. So anyway, the topic tonight we're going to be doing is investing in U.S. With real estate and getting permanent resident status in the U.S. So there's a lot of Filipinos and foreigners who really, really would like to come in here, live here, educate their kids here. And one of the options is to get a permanent visa. That way they're not considered foreigners, but actually residents here. And then they can expand their business here and bring their family and get the visa so that they can be a resident here. So today I would like to introduce to you. Unfortunately, Attorney Lorraine de Alesso was struggling in the corner in the border of Mexico today, and up to just about half an hour from now, he was able to usher her client to the United States. So we have to quickly find somebody else. And good thing that I have a good friend who is an author of a book that talks about how to enter the United States. And I asked him and tapped him to be our guest speaker today. So let me introduce na I call him Don Nepo for short, but his name is Don. Hi, Don. He is Ferdinand
Hello.
Nepomuceno.
Fernando.
Oh,
Yes.
Fernando
Okay.
Nepomuceno. Yes, yes. Okay.
Okay.
So, Don, I just met Don through the phone. He was introduced by another associate who is a realtor here in LA. And we talked over the phone, and I mentioned to him about this show. So, Don, can you talk a little bit about the book that you wrote about a few years ago?
Yes, I wrote the book, a guidebook entitled "The Way to Enter America." It's a very comprehensive coverage of the U.S. immigration and naturalization laws, okay, and all the different kinds of visas. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, the reason why I wrote the book was that, okay, I was based in Hong Kong at that time, and the Chinese were asking me, Don, how can we invest our money in the U.S. and at the same time be able to stay there? Okay? And that means here, the U.S. Okay? So there are a bunch of different kinds of visas that allow you, okay, to invest and eventually stay here in the United States. Okay? One of the visas that is applicable, okay, to Filipinos, okay, is what they call a treaty investors visa. The
Oh,
treaty investors,
yeah, done,
yes,
done. So let me do
yes,
this then. We prepared a little slide about you. I know it's really a quick one, but here it is. His name is Fernando Salvador Nepomuceno. I just want to make sure that I say that right. And he was an author of The Way to Enter America, right? And it you
yes,
sold millions of copies of this were sold so many years ago, right?
yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go to page 2 and yeah, go ahead and let's talk about your topic. Thank you so much.
Mm, okay, all
Yeah.
right, okay,
Oh, let me
all right,
introduce you. Let me introduce you. Okay.
okay,
Oh, this good-looking guy here in the picture is the same guy here on my left. But anyway, Fernando is also known as Don Nepo, and he is a U.S. Air Force veteran. He worked for E.F. Hutton, and he wrote a multi-million seller guidebook, The Way to Enter America. He's going to be talking about the E2 Treaty Investors Visa and also the L1 visa for today, just to make sure that, we just concentrate on these two topics so our audience would be able to really digest it. I know you have so much in your book. And of course, later on, if they want a copy of your book, they can always reach out to you, right? So go ahead.
mhm.
Let's talk about
Yeah,
the E2 Treaty.
yeah. The E2 treaty investors visa, okay, requires a substantial amount, okay, of investment, okay, in the U.S. However, the term substantial is, depends on the investment that you are investing in. So
Mm-hmm.
if you were investing in a car dealership, obviously it would require a larger amount. However, if you were investing in a restaurant, okay, that would require a smaller amount. Okay. But the E2 visa allows you to stay in the United States indefinitely. Indefinitely. That's very, very important to remember. Okay? That means to say you can stay here for as long as you're doing business. It doesn't matter whether the business is making money or they losing money. As long as you're operating it as a business, okay, you would qualify for that kind of visa. Okay.
So an E2 visa, who can get that? Who can do that E2 visa? Uh-oh. We lost him.
Visa, okay, the
Yeah.
one that can get that, okay, are okay, like Phil- uh, uh, Filipinos, because the Philippines has a trade treaty with the United States that allows them to get that T2 visa.
Yeah, so I know that
Okay.
there's a lot of other countries that are qualified, but let's focus on the Philippines since most of our audience right now are Filipinos. But of course, there's some other countries who have that kind of who can also get the E2 treaty investor visa. So
Yes.
go ahead. Yeah.
Yes. Well, the nice part about this, for most Filipinos that want to bring, for instance, their favorite nephew, okay, or their favorite niece, they can get in on that E2 visa, okay, and then it doesn't matter whether the nephew or the niece is 21 years old or 25 years old, which is typically the people that are rejected by the U.S. Embassy in Manila, as somebody that's going to stay here indefinitely. So that's very, very important. It makes it easy for the person, to come and stay here legally, right? In the United States.
Don, do they need to work at that business? So that,
Not necessarily. They need to be an owner, of the business, a
ah,
part owner at least,
that's
a
good.
part owner of that business. So the business can be, for instance, a property management firm. In other words, uh, if they were like buying real estate here, and managing the properties, that's considered an ongoing commercial enterprise.
Okay, okay. So that's perfect for those who want to invest here, buy properties, and then they can assign one of their family member to be the property manager.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we call
Okay.
them katiwala
Okay.
also, katiwala,
Uh,
Mhm. Yeah. So who else can come in here with the E2 visa?
okay, all right. Okay.
Who else can come in here for a
All
E2
right.
visa? So if I am, what about if I'm just going to come in here and be a coach or a lecturer or I will come in here and there's a lot of people.
Uh, the one that I like the most, that's applicable, to most Filipinos, but they aren't aware of this. The one that that I like the most is called, an L1 visa, an intra-company transferee visa. Okay, all right.
Oh, okay.
Which we'll be talking about in the next section. The L1 visa, the L1 visa, all right, is called intra-company transferee. Let me tell you what the requirements are to qualify for the L1 visa. The requirement is that they have to have a business overseas, okay, that has been in existence, for at least 1 year. Okay?
Mhm.
Compared to the E2, which does not require a business overseas, the L1 visa requires that they have a business,
Yeah, I'm losing you. Maybe your connection. You need to fix your connection, Don. We are missing you.
right?
Yeah, there you go.
Can you see me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So
All right. Uh, so the L1 visa, okay, right, is very easy to get. Again, it doesn't matter what the age requirement is. In other words, we can have a new graduate, a fresh graduate, okay, or okay, somebody that's been in the, working there for a while. But the requirement is, okay, it allows them to transfer not just one, but a multiple number of people. In other words, okay, you can have brothers, sisters, and so on, okay, to come in and get that L1 visa.
But
The
they don't
ones
need
that
to be
qualify.
part of the company. They don't need to be part. They don't need to be a part of the company. Maybe just a member.
No, they do. They do. Okay. They have to be an executive or a manager of the company. Okay.
Well, what about the spouse and the children of that manager?
The spouse and the children, okay, can come, okay, right? Can come with them, okay, right? So, okay, now it doesn't matter how many children they have, as long as they're minors, okay, right? They would qualify, okay.
And they can
But
go to
here's the thing.
like a resident. They can go to school here like a resident.
Yes, in fact, some of the people that I helped, okay, some Filipinos that I helped, okay, they wanted to enroll their children in USC or Harvard or something, okay, and then as a holder of an L1 visa, okay, they qualify as they're considered local residents, okay. In other words, if you enroll your kids, okay, at Stanford, okay, instead of paying a foreign student rate, you would qualify as and it saves a lot of money. It saves a lot of money.
Okay.
All right.
Yes. Let me ask Ferdinand to put up one little ad for us. Hold on, okay? And then we will come back.
Born from our humble home and our desire to share true natural freshness with you, Lemoncito Concentrate with honey is the best there is. Rich in vitamin C, Lemoncito reinvents your mom's favorite tonic for a cold or sore throat into a delicious and nutritious drink. No additives, no artificial flavors, no preservatives. 100% natural. Lemoncito, deliciously nutritious.
All right, we're back. Okay, Don. So,
Okay.
as you know, Ferdy from Emporium, he also promotes Filipino products. So this is one of the products that we are promoting. So tagging into that, talking about the visa. So if you have a company in the Philippines, and maybe you are a manufacturer, or maybe you are a distributor there, or you have a school, you have a training school for nurses and CNAs and all that. You can actually produce get an L1 visa by opening a branch here, right?
Yes.
Is that correct? Yeah. So
Yes.
so you can get an L1 visa. Bring your family here who's gonna manage it, and also the executives who are coming here to manage it, and their families. And so those families now can have an L1 visa, and their kids, their family, can be a resident here. That means if they want to work, if they want to go to school, they are considered a resident citizen here, so they can enroll their kids just like anybody else who are citizens here. Correct?
Yes. They're considered residents, okay, for education purposes. Okay,
Right.
But all right, because of our limited time, I want to show you, okay, that when a person holds an L1 visa, okay, number one, the requirement is that as long as the person does not become a public charge in the United States. In other words, okay, right, when you open a business here, okay, you open a bank account, you put in money in that bank account, you're just simply transferring packet from one pocket to the other. Okay? You're not spending it. You're simply showing that the person that you are brought to America is not going to become a public charge. Okay, right? Now, here's the nice part about it. When a person is holding an L1 visa, okay, after about a year, okay, they would qualify for what they call an employment-based immigrant visa, the EB1 visa. The
Oh,
EB1 visa, okay, all right, would allow them to get permanent residence here in the U.S. Okay? In other words,
green
in
card.
1 year, they can become a lawful permanent resident, okay? Lawful permanent resident immigrant, okay? Right? Okay?
So
Right?
is there a
Right?
minimum
That,
investment to qualify for L1?
and no minimum. It used to be some people that I helped before. Okay, when they put in around $35,000, okay, on a bank account. Okay, that 35,000 basically showed, okay, that they while the first the transferee the intra-company transferee visa is in the United States. Okay, there is enough money that they will not become a public charge in the United States. Okay.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay.
So in
So,
other words,
so the,
compared to another visa that I was talking to you about, where in the real estate they have to spend like $1 million to purchase
yes,
property. That's a different kind of visa, right?
yes. This one here, they don't have to spend millions of bucks, right? And then they can do any kind of business under the sun. In other words, once they incorporate here, they can have a restaurant, that they can have a property management firm. They can do any other kind of business. Right? They can own a gas station. They can even own a McDonald's. Right? Here, as well. Now, those things require a different kind of investment. But like we could help those people with that. But the main thing is they would qualify for the L1 visa. That now, by the way, you just don't bring one person. You can bring up to 10 individuals, as long as you can show that you can afford to pay them while they're here. That as long as you're not going to become a public charge in the United States.
They cannot. They don't have to. They should not be a burden to the
Yes,
country.
yes,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yes.
Okay.
All right. All
So
right.
that
How
be
much
good?
time?
Can that be anywhere in United States?
Anywhere in the United States.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
go ahead.
yeah. So in other words, talking about in the real estate point of view, they can actually buy a property here, buy a house, and they'll be considered not a foreign investor, but rather resident here, where they can only put a down payment of 10% or 20% instead of 40%.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you are a lender too. You have your NMLS number, and you are doing lending for even for business and corporate. So um knowing that in the back of my mind, I'm asking you, so if I have an L1 visa or an E2 visa, then if I'm going to borrow portion of the amount of the investment that I had to do to purchase, let's say, a car dealership or a restaurant, um, real estate, a property to put my business in. Do I need, what kind of loan to value or what kind of down payment do I need to put in? Can I qualify
We,
for loans?
yeah, we can go. We can go. Generally, it's with a 80% loan to value would qualify most people. Okay, right? It doesn't matter whether the person. It doesn't have anything to do with a person's citizenship. Okay? So a Filipino who, let's say, invests in, let's say, a gas station, okay, and so on, okay, it can generally get about 80% of the value of the gas station as a loan. In other words, all they have to do is put 20%. Okay,
So
right
they don't have to pay.
now, okay, in many cases, we have clients that also we have private money lending that so that as low as they would go as high as they base it on the cash flow of the business. So let's say if you were gonna invest in buy a McDonald's here, for instance, okay, right? The revenue of McDonald's is added on, and as long as it shows it would qualify for servicing the loan, that there's enough income to pay for the monthly payment for the loan, that they would qualify. Okay? So like the residential care home business, for instance, okay, it's something that a lot of Filipinos also want to take advantage of.
Yeah,
Okay? Uh,
in fact, I have a client who is interested in doing that from Philippines. Come in here with his family because his family is like nurse, doctor, OT, and he is a real estate broker. So if
uh-huh.
that family comes in here, then they can buy a property and apply for the L1 no, an E2 visa. Would that qualify as an E2 visa or an L1 if they're coming here?
They can qualify for an E2 visa, okay, but it takes some time, but they would also qualify for an L1 visa. Okay,
Ah,
there's a way of structuring it, okay, right? Okay, you see, the person can, for instance, uh, uh, technically speaking, the person can have a small sari-sari store, okay? To make it blunt, okay? As long as that business is registered and paying taxes, okay? It doesn't have to be making money. Okay? The important part is that the company in the U.S. has to be able to afford, okay, the intra-company transferee. It
yeah,
is not so much as
mm,
the one in the Philippines. Okay, go ahead.
yeah. Okay, okay. All right. Well, you know what? We are really brushed with time right now, and this is just a tickler basically, since it's a live stream and we would like everybody to just reach out to us and ask us more information about this in more detail because everyone is different. But the good thing about this, the good news about it is that the getting a visa and having to afford to live here legally, bringing your business here and expanding, it really, really makes such an enlightenment to know that it's not really that complicated. So I think the best thing to do is to do more research, read your book, ask more questions, and then reach out to Dawn because Don, can we show your contact information here, Ferdy? The third page. Yeah. So very simple. This is Don's email address and his phone number. Don had been practicing since the 80s, 90s that he has been here. And he also published that book that became very, very popular and so much in demand because it has a lot of links and a lot of updated information. So email him if you want a copy of that. He has a digital copy of that book. And feel free to reach out to Don. And next time, actually, I'm going to have another episode that I will have Lorraine come in here and talk a little bit more on her side, being an immigrant lawyer, a lawyer here in United States, having offices in Canada, New York, Mexico, and Malaysia. So thank you, Don, for
Uh,
your time. And
uh, thank you for having me. And then
yes,
reach out to Mrs. Agbayani, okay, because she is very, very active in the local community, and she's a very good friend of mine. So uh, whatever she asks me to do, I'll do. Okay, I'll see you. Okay. All right, okay.
thank you
All
so much.
right.
Hopefully, next
All
time we
right.
can have you live here, person to person, face to face here in Los Angeles. You know,
Yes, yes. Okay.
yeah,
All right. Okay.
as we slowly get
Thank you, Mr. Soriano, for having me also. Okay. Uh, I look forward to keeping up with what you're doing, okay, especially on your business. Okay. Uh,
okay.
go
All
ahead. Go
right. Thank you
ahead.
so
Okay. Right there. All right.
much. All right. So that's a little piece of information for you. You know, I know there's a zillion of different ways. We have different visas here that you can apply for, but L1 and EB2 might be something that you want to zoom in, and especially if you are from Philippines or other countries that may want to come in here to the United States and expand your business, bring your children, bring your family, and send them to school here as a resident and rather than a foreign student. So anyway, that's it. Take it away, Ferdy.
Libre remittance at mataas na exchange rate? With Bayani Pay, mas secure na, mas mura pa. Ang Bayani Pay ay bank-to-bank transfer na walang middleman kaya mas maaasahan. Sa registration, kailangan lang mag-scan ng ID at mag-selfie para sure na ikaw talaga yan. At pag nag-connect ka na ng bank account, huwag kang mag-alala dahil di namin ini-store ang bank details mo. Sigurado na darating ang remittance mo dahil kumpleto ang information ng iyong recipient. Remit na with Bayani Pay!
All right, welcome back. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to I would like to talk now about the other way, how to invest in the Philippines. So there's a lot of baby boomers right now that are retiring in the United States, and most of them are not really that ready, or they don't have enough cash flow to be able to afford to retire 100%. So here is an option for you, whether you are a Filipino American, or a foreigner. This is something that I would like to share with you, an option. I know that there's a lot of people who are retiring in Puerto Rico, in Belize, in Spain. You know, so now I just want to let you know that the Philippines is also becoming a very popular destination for retirees and even digital nomads. Okay, just because of the way the island is, how they explore the island, how beautiful the countryside is. So today, my topic is buying real estate in the Philippines. So I'll just give you a little bit of an overview of that, and then later on, I'll bring on Hazel from Ayala Land, and we'll have a little example. So me, why am I doing this? I can easily sell property here in Beverly Hills, Los Angeles, and get my commission, right? But for some reason, 10 years ago, being a licensed agent for since 1988 and have done residential sales and mortgage in the Bay Area in Sacramento, then 23 years ago, it tickled me on helping people who wants to have alternative to go to the Philippines and retire. So that's the reason why I am doing this, and I'm going back and forth the Philippines, trying to see how I can usher and help some of my kababayans on how to sell their property there, extrajudicial and all that, and also invest, leveraging the property they have here, leveraging and get a secondary home in the Philippines, or also invest in the Philippines for some business. Okay, so my objective is, again, helping you retire and leveraging in real estate ownership. So as early as 1988, when I was selling real estate and also doing the mortgage, it was such a challenge to me, and also it gives me such an inspiration to help a first-time home buyer get the first home without with a minimal down payment. And I always tell them, the young guy, young couple, I say, if you really, really want it, doors will open. Another job will come in, another opportunity will come to you, and maybe a gift from somewhere, maybe your family can help you. So there's always a way to get into that objective. Okay, so it's just a matter of making sure that you have the desire. So with me over the years, because I was doing also mortgage and I was doing real estate, residential real estate, I used to do workshop. I like doing workshop. I educate and I assist on using real estate and use your equity once you have them to leverage and ultimately to help you retire and make your dream come true. Okay, so it doesn't start only when you are in your 20s. It also can start when you are in your 60s, or even in the middle age, so in the midstream of your career. So our career or our lifetime can be, there's an ups and downs. Okay, and there's always a beginning and an end. So here I'll give you some key points in buying in the Philippines, because buying in the Philippines is that you have a chance to own a land, a property, with a minimal down payment, with a smaller amount of money. Okay. Now, if you're a foreigner, you are prohibited from owning a land in the Philippines, but you can legally own a residence. Okay. So the Philippine Condominium Act allows the foreigner to own condominium units as long as 60% of the building is owned by Filipinos. So if there is like 500 units in one building, then as long as there's 60% of that is owned by Filipinos, then 40% of that you can buy. You can buy 10 units, you can buy 20 units, or you can buy 1 unit. Yeah. So that is the good thing about it. And if you want to buy a house, you can consider an long-term lease agreement with a Filipino landowner, because technically, if you're a foreigner, you cannot own a land. You can lease a land. That's one thing. So to get around it, you can do a long-term lease, like 25-year, 30-year, or 50-year from a Filipino landowner. Okay. So you can also purchase a property through the corporation, provided its ownership is 60% or more by Filipinos. So if you want to open a McDonald there, or like a Home Depot there, a branch or something similar to that, then you can buy the property for that business, and then it can be owned. 60% of this can be, you can have partners that owns the 60%, and you can own the 40%. Okay. So buying a condo is really lucrative in the Philippines. It's not the same as buying a condo here in the United States. There we have what you call pre-selling. So usually a condo project would be finished, or they're gonna start it from now and finish about 4 or 5 years. So what they do is they pre-sell the units. They show you the plan. They show you where it's gonna be, and they will have some presentation. And as long as you can put down, like, let's say you put 10% of the price today of the the pre-selling uh price, then the other 10% to complete your 20% down can be spread during the time that the project is being constructed. So that 10% can be spread to 4 to 5 years, or even sometimes there are some developers that are even spreading that to 7 years, depending on the project that they have. So the 80% balance at the end of the purchasing term, you are allowed it allows you to realize the increase of value during the construction, right? So during the time from 1 to 5 years, the value of that property, of that unit, is going up, and you are part of that. You are realizing that increase. So once you get to that 80%, then you can get a loan. Like condo can, you can get a loan whether here or in the Philippines. Okay. So The condos, they range from 21 square meter to 250 square meter, um, or about 60,000 to $450,000, depending on the developer and the location, of course. So also, if you are a foreigner, there is also what you call a long-term lease. So oh, no, I mean, this long-term lease is if you want to rent it out. The good thing about it in the Philippines is that you can do a long-term lease and get prepaid upfront. So if you're renting today, if you're renting it to a tenant, that tenant has to pay you the first 1 year before they even occupy it. And sometimes when you get the condo, or the property, it's bare, nothing on it. The only thing that it has would be the plumbing. It has bare walls. It has the sink for plumbing. That's it. And it's the tenant usually who would finish it and putting all the insulation, the air conditioner, and whatever else they want to upgrade the property, while they are there. And there's some expats who stays there for about even 5 years or so, and lease the property to you. So that's another way of investing in the Philippines. Okay. So now with regards to buying a home, it's a little different because, as we said, you cannot, if you are a foreigner, if you're a foreign national, you can only own the house, but you cannot own the land. Okay. So the average price per square foot in a city center nationally is about 207.50 per square feet. And that means that a 1,200 square foot home would be like close to $250,000. So foreigners, they can do a long-term lease, as I said earlier, and have an agreement with Filipino landowner. So if the landowner lives here, they want to rent their home for 5 years, 10 years, you can do a long-term lease with them, as a foreigner. You can also purchase a property through a corporation. You can set up a corporation, provided the ownership is 60% again or more by a Filipino citizen. Then you can do that. Or a lot of people also do it through marriage. So if your wife or husband is a full Filipino citizen, then you can own a house and lot there and own different properties because of one of you is a Filipino citizen. Okay. Now, with regards to lending, I just want to give you a quick tip here that we have a bank, Philippine National Bank in Los Angeles, and they can extend a loan for a residential property in the Philippines with the loan processing and servicing done here in United States in Los Angeles. So sometimes that can be a challenge where you buy a property on the other side of the world and you have to deal with the paperwork, with all these documents. And if you can do it here, like with Philippine National Bank, you can do it here, and they don't have they follow the code of ethics and practice here in United States, like for instance the age and the race, and all the different requirements, parameters of lending here in America. They have to adapt them. So in the Philippines, if you are 45, 50 years old, it's harder for you to get a loan. You have to get a loan that is a shorter term, like 5-year loan or 10-year loan. But here with the Philippine National Bank, you can go amortize it for 20 years, even though you're 70 years old, as long as you can prove that you can make payments on it. Yeah. So in summary, once you pick the general area where you want to settle down, it can be helpful to work with an experienced real estate agent who can show you various properties. Okay, so don't just go to one place, you get excited, you went to Cebu, you went to Palawan, oh, I want to live here. It's better that you study it, you stay there, you visit it, or maybe stay for about 30 days or even a few months, different times of the year before you say, oh, okay, I want to live here, before you do that. An agent, a real estate agent, a local real estate agent, or even an agent here, like me, who goes back and forth, or some agents who are really familiar about Philippines. They can help you narrow down the choices, and they can provide you general guidance throughout the process. So that's the main thing that I would like to tell you, is that if you have somebody here who is more knowledgeable, who's knowledgeable also with the topography and the climate in the Philippines on real estate investment, that's the best thing that you can do. Okay. An agent can help you understand the rules regarding property ownership, and what you can and cannot purchase as a foreigner, and what it is that some people are also asking about dual citizenship. It's also good to be a dual citizen. If you were born in the Philippines, became a citizen here, and you want to own properties there, it's always a good idea to be a dual citizen. It opens a lot of doors. Okay. So anyway, that's all for now for me. And I think we have something to show you again right now. All right, thank you. So, at this portion of our program, I would like to bring in Hazel. She is from Ayala Land International Sales. Luckily, she is again here in United States, in California, with her team. I am part of her team as a marketing partner of Ayala Land. And right now, she's in the Bay Area. Last week, she was here in Los Angeles. So they're doing their road shows. They were also in Las Vegas. So what Hazel does and her team is, what they put together an event, and they invite people who are really interested in finding out how to invest in the Philippines, and particularly with Ayala Land, because Ayala Land is, as you know, is our number one developer in the Philippines, and we take pride of that. So, Hazel, can you share with us what's going on right now?
Hi, SP.
Yeah.
Hi, Ferdinand. First of all, I'd like to thank you again for inviting me today. Yes, we have been very busy since the time that we started visiting the US this 2023. This quarter will really be hectic. In fact, you're right. I was just there with you last weekend, and the next day we had to go to Vegas to meet a group also, and now I'm in the Bay Area starting our activities here because we really have a lot of interested Filipino Americans who wants to invest in the Philippines. That's why we want to continue to give the right information and be able to um, provide all the information that they need so that when they go back home, they're able to choose from the current and the latest properties that we have. So what's going on? We will be in different areas. My team and I will be a group will be in San Diego for Sunday presentation, while I'll be here in Fremont this coming Sunday also. And the following weekend, I'll also be in another presentation here in South San Francisco and go the next day to San Diego to meet a lot of Filipino Americans also in that part of California, and to continue the rest of our presentations in Country in San Diego, and also in back in Cerritos. Now, just to also add to what you have shared today, SP, there's really a lot of good news that's happening in our country. That's why having all of these property choices with our company is very exciting. I'm very thankful that you are really campaigning about the your Balik Balik program, which is very exciting for someone who would really have the best of both worlds. That's why having and being in our residential properties with Ayala Land, you can definitely achieve that goal of your balik-balik program for an individual who wants to retire in both the US and in the Philippines. Definitely, I'm happy that you were able to also see our event last week, and you have been with us for quite some time already, and we see that fulfillment. Being able, I myself have been servicing a lot of Filipino American families, and they have really enjoyed a good opportunity investing with our company in terms of our properties back home. So
Mm.
thank you very much again, and I'll
Thank
give
you.
you back the floor, SP. Salamat.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you again.
Thank you, Hazel. Yeah. All right. Well, folks, today I talked to you about how to get to United States. If you're Filipino or you have a Filipino family or a foreigner who wants to come in here and invest, we have the all the different visas that can help you, and also the other way around, where if you are a retiree or an investor and you are interested on investing in Asia, because Southeast Asia is going to be really the next, I guess, big thing. Uh, so then I just want to let you know that whether you want to move in here or you go invest somewhere else, it is always a cherry to have to own real estate. And that's what I do. I help you leverage on your real estate. If you don't have real estate yet, if you don't have a home yet, I can help you as a first time home buyer. There are different grants, there's different ways. No program is set in stone. It's person to person. It's based on your situation, it's based on your motivation, and it's based on what is out there available for you, and of course the market. And a lot of people are stuck with the market, the rate, ever since. When I started 1989, we're stuck with the rate. We're stuck with how much is the interest rate, and all that. And actually, if you think about it, since 1988 that I was in real estate until now, the properties have gone down, has gone up from 150 to 2 million, you know and more. And the interest rate has gone down from 18% all the way to 2.5%, and now we're starting to creep up. So right now, if you are going to be in 7%, it's a mindset. There's always a way to get into that house. So let me help you leverage on what you have, what your motivation is. And when there's two or three people who are thinking for you, a lender, a realtor, and and maybe your family can back you up, there's always a way to get what you want. Okay, it's the most important thing is the motivation right there. So, Ferdy, is there anything else that we would like to discuss together? What do you think? I really miss Lorraine, attorney Lorraine. I was really looking forward to her presentation. In fact, when I was at the Beverly Hills Chamber Mixer last Tuesday, and I showed the flyer, a lot of people were really, really excited about our show. So I told them that we're going to have another episode, bringing in attorney Lorraine again, and see what she can contribute, because she's a lawyer, an immigration lawyer, and very, very aggressive and hardworking. As you see, she was at the border of Mexico trying to usher a client here. You're in mute.
I guess I got used to not talking, so I put myself mute. But in spite of the last minute thing, because that's showbiz, I guess, to a certain degree with attorney Lorraine, I
Yeah.
was also looking forward to that, because many of the people that were that liked the what do you call it, the posts on Facebook, they
Mhm.
really were asking, they liked it, because with all the people that I'm trying to help with Philippine manufacturers, the relevance to it, and I think that's the reason why a lot of them wanted to see it, is because a lot of them really were thinking about investing in some real estate in the U.S. also, right? Especially
Mhm.
with the L1 visa.
Mhm.
So, in spite of that, I think Don Nepomuceno also did a good job in explaining at the last minute. So we want to thank him
Yes.
for
For
being a
stepping in.
yeah. I mean, he did it the last minute, folks. The reality is that he's very knowledgeable, but still, again, he did it at the last minute. So that takes a lot of preparation. Normally, when you go on a show and really make sure that you're providing content that it's relevant, and he did his best to do that. And I thank you for that, Don. Thank you. And then also for Hazel, um, I love this combination that we're trying to form here, so that we really want people to not think of Emporium as just a place for a product to be displayed
Mhm.
and create as an incubation. But again, that's the reason why we added on that part where it says Global Business Center, because what SB is trying to do for everyone here is that I wanted Emporium to have an expert that could really understand not only the U.S. market, but really also because what she says, balik balik, right? Going back and forth. So
Balik-balikan.
balik-balikan, yeah.
Yeah.
So to me, what's happening is that I told SB that there's a lot of people visiting the Philippines now that are, when they come back, they wish they could stay there longer, and sometimes those I want to stay there longer amounts to, okay, I want to buy a real estate there, and that's where I said we need to create content, or we need to have a trusted advisor to do that, and you've been doing an amazing job, SB.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I just came back and I'm leaving again next month. And of course, even if we live stream, I can live stream from the
Yeah.
Philippines, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can have a different background. That's why I told you, make sure that you maybe get a really nice suite, or overlooking the city, and people can see how amazing the
Oh
Philippines
yeah.
is, right, in terms of that.
Oh yes. Yes. I'll do that next time. That's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the thing that I want everybody to understand as they watch this or watch it later is that we're really, if you're a Filipino American, maybe you visited the Philippines once or twice, and now all of a sudden you're rediscovering your culture, and you really want to get an idea how that is. It's really important that you get a perspective on how to do business in the Philippines, and SB knows how to do that. But she's also very aware of your the way you do business here. So she has the best of both worlds. And I'm not just saying that because she's part of the content. I mean, because I'm actually appreciating that, because that my take on all of this is that I don't know, even though I promote Philippine products here, there's still a lot of nuances that you need to understand in how to buy property in the Philippines. So that's why I know how to buy property here, no problem, right? But still, there's a little nuances that SB can provide. So that's why it's so invaluable, not only for SB and for you to talk to SB, but I'm excited because she's part of the Emporium, project, and what we're trying to do as far as bridging Philippine-made products, services, and investments.
Yeah. So just last year, I started zooming into assisted living just because it's part of senior housing. As a senior real estate specialist, yeah, I have been catering to a lot of seniors, talking about reverse mortgage, talking about downsizing, Prop 19, all these things. But it's important also to know that there are a lot of investors that are looking into Philippines now as also a place where they can do retirement. There's a lot of retirement communities that are being built there. Considering the cost of retiring here to retirement facilities, it's quite a lot. So anyway, with no further ado, I'm really happy for this episode. We miss Attorney Lorraine, but we look forward to having her next time. So you guys there, if you are looking forward to listening to an immigration lawyer, we will have that next time. I will let you know when that's going to be. And thank you so much for this show. I really appreciate Ferdinand for doing this, because this portion of hosting and putting all these things together, that's not my strong point. My strong point is just to talk and reach out to you.
You're just there to look, to be knowledgeable and look lovely, SP.
Thank you so much.
So I'm going to
Okay.
say bye bye to everybody too, but I want everyone to keep watching the Emporium live selling special editions, because again, it's important that we continue this bridging of the countries in terms of whether, like I said, whether it be investment services or products. So again, thank you, SP, for
Yeah.
supporting us and
Yeah.
giving us your brand in terms of trying to create this. So you
Thank
have the last word, and then I'll go ahead and end it.
Yeah, well, one thing is this is recorded. It's recorded, and Ferdy has a YouTube channel, so you can always find that. And we are all, if you want to listen to it again over and over, we have past episodes that you can also listen to. Okay, so thank you so much. Yes, it is recorded, Roy. So yeah, you can reach out to Ferdy and get the link, but it is on YouTube. Okay, thank you. Goodbye.
It's a beautiful day. No worries today. Cool breeze outside my window. This is the